welcome learners to the channel Unified Learning, and today we'll again continue with the chapter 7, Control and Coordination. Today we'll study about reflex actions. We are done with the movement, how movement is possible, what are the conditions which make movement, and how the neurons work. They take the messages from receptors and then effectors work as in response to it. Reflex action. Reflex means a sudden reaction. It is response to something in environment. Doing something without thinking, without feeling in control. For example, in summer days, you came home. After having jogging maybe. So, what's your first action? You will switch on the fan, AC, whatsoever. So, this is doing something without thinking. As you know that you are feeling hot. So that's your response to the change in environment as well. So change in environment is the reaction that you are feeling tired, maybe you are sweating. So that's why you just switch on the fan. You just relax on the sofa. So this is the sudden action. This is reflex actions. When, for example, a child touches a hot object and suddenly moves his hand. That is a reflex action. But how does it take place? Does there is any thinking process involved? Thinking is a complex activity. Please keep in mind that thinking is a complex activity. It is an interaction of many neurons and many nerve impulses. If I say that a child has touched a hot object and the brain has received the message. The brain is receiving messages from all the body parts, not just from your hand. At that time also, when a child has touched a hot object, brain is receiving messages, information from all body parts. But it depends on the brain. It will do a process. It will analyze that what it has to do. What is the important at that present time. As brain works as analyzing the information, how to act. So if I say that brain instruct muscles to move, so when a child has touched a hot object, the muscles has moved. These muscles has moved to take off the hand. So nerve carries signal to the body. So if I say that brain receive messages from the receptors, so effectors send messages to the motor nerves, which has to work. So for example, if I say that brain is sending messages of these fingers getting burnt. Now the information is processing and the thinking is involved. If I say that thinking is involved and the message brain has received that some hot thing is being touched, so the thinking process is working. By that time you may get hurt, you may get burnt. But what happens in reality? You never get burnt. Maybe for the first time you have felt that your finger is burnt, but from the next time it has never happened. Why? Because whenever there is reflex arc is present, whenever body has to give a quick response to the change in environment, in that situation there is no thinking process involved. How this works is, so for example, you have touched a hot object, these fingers are getting burnt, and which muscles has to move? These muscles has to move. So these both are interconnected. These both are connected. So the nerve that is detecting and nerve that has to move, they both are connected. So they will respond without thinking. They will just give a response to that situation. And in that situation, as you know that the brain receives messages through the spinal cord, through the spinal cord to the brain. So whenever messages has to be sent to the body through the muscles, there also spinal cord is working. So spinal cord send the messages to the muscles of the body. So when your when your finger is getting burnt and these muscles has to move, they will respond. Maybe because of the prior experiences, they will respond in milliseconds, less than that. So this is how reflex actions and reflex arc works. I hope you all have understood. If there is any doubt, please comment in the comment box. Okay learners, so as we are done with the reflex action part, so reflex action, I said that whenever information is to be sent, so it travels through the spinal cord. So spinal cord basically supply information to think about it. The information is processed in the brain. So this thinking part involves complex mechanism and neural connections, and these both together happens or takes place in the brain. So brain is called as main coordinating body. It decides, it processes information, which action is to be performed first. So spinal cord and brain together makes our central nervous system, CNS. The work of or the function of CNS is to receive information and then integrate. Receive information from all parts of the body. As I told earlier, as I have given example that a child has touched a hot object, maybe during that time a child must be feeling that something is on his leg which is biting him. Maybe an ant is there. That information is also being sent. But that reflex action was a sudden action. But what about that ant? So for that, brain has to send message to the muscles of the hand maybe, which will remove that ant from the leg. So this is how the process takes place. CNS receives information from all the body parts and then integrate it. Integrate information and then send the message to the body parts. And the muscles will respond to it. So CNS cannot work alone. CNS make connections on CNS has to communicate with the PNS, that is peripheral nervous system. It sends the message to the peripheral nervous system, and what happens? PNS consists of cranial nerves which are arising from the brain, spinal nerves which arises from the spinal cord, and this is how the brain sent message to the muscles of the body. For example, if I say just the reflex action को हम अभी अलग रख देते हैं, अभी हमने इसको समझ लिया है. Let's talk about any simple and normal movement that you do. For example, taking a pen, moving a chair. That message is also sent to the brain that I want to pick up a pen. And then these muscles pick up the pen. This is how the process takes place. Moving a chair. While I'm talking, I'm moving my hands also. So these both are communicated. These both actions are taking place with the help of the brain. Brain is sending messages. That moving hand is also there. Moving the mouth muscles is also there. So both are taking place. There is just not one action that takes place at one time. I hope you all are getting it, that how spinal cord send the message and how this thinking process takes place and which of the body parts are involved, which systems are involved, CNS and PNS, how they perform. We'll study more about it. Okay learners, so as we are done with the reflex action, reflex arc, and then the work of PNS and CNS, so let's talk about the brain. Which part of the brain is responsible for what kind of response? So brain has three parts: forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. Forebrain is also known as main thinking part. Forebrain receives all the information from the receptors. Receptors which are present in our sensory organs. So receptors send the messages, send the information to the forebrain. Now forebrain has separate areas for separate sensory organs. So for example, photoreceptors, phonoreceptors, gustatory receptors, and the olfactory receptors, tangoreceptors, they all have the separate areas in our forebrain. So the information which is received by forebrain will be associated and interpreted. And related to the previously stored information. And then the response will be given. Response will be given to the spinal cord, the nerves present in the spinal cord. As we have talked about, spinal cord has cranial nerves and spinal nerves. So yes, so the information is passed on to the spinal nerves, and there will be the response. Response is given to the muscles. The muscles will respond. For example, I am taking a pen and writing on a board, speaking, talking, running, walking. These all are the related to motor nerves. So decision or respond part is done by the motor nerves or voluntary muscles, I would say. So the sensory impulses part is done basically in the forebrain only. We'll study about the work of other parts of brain as well, learners. So as we have talked about the function of forebrain, so let's talk about the midbrain and hindbrain. Midbrain includes the involuntary actions, and we have talked about the forebrain. Forebrain includes reflex actions, voluntary actions. So as you see the food, your mouth waters, the change in size of pupil when you come from a bright sunlight to the dark place, and the heart is beating without even thinking. You are breathing without even thinking. As we have talked about that reflex action or reflex acts, these action doesn't involve any thinking process. So let's talk about midbrain and hindbrain. So the BP, salivation, vomiting, these all are controlled by the medulla, and medulla is present in the hindbrain. And let's talk about the cerebellum. Cerebellum involves the maintaining of the body posture. Do you remember that when you were riding a bicycle, you were going straight? How it was balancing you? Balance of the body. You are not falling down. Initially you fall down, but then your brain learns how to maintain that body posture. When the pencil falls down, you pick up from the down. Your body maintains that body posture. You walk in a straight line. These all functions are included under the cerebellum. Cerebellum is the part of hindbrain. Hindbrain includes three parts: pons, medulla and cerebellum. As you must have understood that which function is involved and which function is performed by which part of the brain. We'll study about the next topic in my next video. So learners, stay home, stay safe, keep learning. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you, learners.